Hi guys, welcome to Lisa Loves. Apology for my very non-horror related positioning today. My husband and son have just gone out for a quick game of Gaelic, so I'm just squeezing this tag in before they get back, so I just thought I'd do it in the living room. So, also, if the light keeps changing, I'm beside a window and it's quite sunny outside, unusually for Ireland. So anyway, to get to this one, you'll see me with my little book. This is a tag by the channel LastVenom76s. He done this tag, it just went up I think today, and it's a 10 question horror tag. Everyone knows I love a good horror tag. So he didn't tag me, he tagged Nick the Last Shoegazer and I believe Jason, Horrific Nightmares JM. So I am gonna hopefully they would tag me. So I'm going to do this, and even if they don't, I'm doing it anyway. So there we go. I'm going to guess they maybe would have done. So, 10 questions, all of which I will pop in the description below. I will also pop a link to the originator's answers with all the questions also. That's LastVenom76. So, off we go. Number 1. What is your favourite horror movie opening sequence? Right, I sat and had a proper good think about this, and I don't think I can come up with one for this one. I've written down a few. I really like the opening sequence to the first Scream movie. Anyone that knows me knows I'm not that big a fan of the Scream movies, but the bit with Drew Barrymore where she dies right at the start of the film, I love that. That's the best part of the entire Scream franchise for me, that first bit of the movie. I also really like the starting sequence of the movie Ghost Ship, where everyone's dancing in the ballroom and like the wire cuts everyone in half and you see them slowly like cut in half and fall to the floor and stuff. I've written down 2 more. The starting sequence of Final Destination 2 with the big accident. And lastly, Zombieland. That one at the beginning plays Metallica, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And everything's in slow motion. It's just showing what way America has gone, like zombie outbreak everywhere. So that's my choices. Sorry I couldn't make it only one. Number 2, what are your top 3 horror movie quotes? Okay, I could have tried to be really clever about this, and that's real glare, isn't it? And think about something very clever, but I just chose really infamous ones to me that are from movies that I love. So I've chosen I Want to Play a Game from Saw, obviously. I've chosen They're Here from Poltergeist. And I have chosen Last Night I Found Your Key from Misery. Absolutely love them. There are longer quotes, more poignant quotes that I really like, but I chose those because they just immediately tell you what movie it's from, and they're just the most infamous lines to me from those movies. Well, the Misery one probably isn't, but it's my personal favourite. Number 3, Keane or Kubrick? Whose vision do you prefer on The Shining? I find this really difficult because there's aspects I like about both, prefer about each. Everyone knows that Stephen King is not a fan of the Kubrick envisaging of his story. I like how Stephen King wrote Jack Torrance. It wasn't even originally called Jack Torrance. He had him in the book as a normal, decent, nice family man, and his descent of madness only starts when he goes to the Overlook Hotel, and obviously the what's the word I'm looking for? The being subjected to, the influence, that's the word I'm looking for. The influence of the hotel obviously starts that downward spiral. In Kubrick's vision, obviously Jack Torrance was a bit, doolally when it all started. I prefer King's concept on that, but I prefer Kubrick's ending to the original ending. The original ending actually had topiary animals coming alive, which is just a bit silly. They didn't do that because they couldn't get the effects to look right, so they put the maze in instead. And I much prefer the maze ending, where Danny obviously leaves a false trail and Jack Torrance ends up freezing in the maze. I prefer that. The one thing I will say I'm not that keen on, as much as I absolutely love Shelley Duvall's performance as Wendy in the movie, she could be a little bit simpering and a bit screamy and a bit pathetic. I don't like when you get pathetic females in things. Stephen King didn't really write her as being that simpering. So it's really, really difficult to actually, because I love aspects of both, so I can't choose, I'm sorry. Number 4. What is your favourite creature horror movie? We did one recently. I think it was a creature tag. I can't remember what I answered as my favourite. I think I answered Pan's Labyrinth. That probably is my favourite, so I'll leave it there. I love Pan's Labyrinth. That, like, pale man with the hands with the eyeballs is just creepy. Number 5. What movie do you dislike that everyone else seems to like? The Scream movies. I enjoyed the first one. I wouldn't say I thought it was amazing, I just enjoyed it. I didn't really like the others. If anyone asks me about the Scream movies, the scenes that I always seem to remember as being decent are all from the first one. So no, not a big fan of that series. One that will get me with a lot of like people going, what? I don't like The Thing. I think every horror fan I'm aware of loves The Thing. I don't. So, there we go. Number 6. In any type of horror scenario, who would you want to be grouped with to ensure your survival? Right, I really, really like LastVenom76s' answer to this until Bronco Juggalo pointed something out. He answered Ripley from Alien, which I thought was an awesome answer. But as Bronco pointed out, everyone around her dies, so it's probably not the best choice. That probably would have been one of mine, to be honest. I've actually written down Tobin Bell, as in Jigsaw, from Saw, purely because of his intellect, of his ability to work things out. And also, just in case you need a bit of muscle, I've put in Pyramid Head from Silent Hill movie. With that big sword knife thing, who the hell's going to get to you? Really, he's just going to wipe anyone out that comes near you. And if you need a bit of grey matter going on up here, Tobin Bell, Jigsaw. Number 7. If given creative control over your favourite movie, what would you change? Nothing. I think it's your favourite movie for a reason, and I don't particularly think you should want to change anything about it. When I think of my favourite horror movie, I usually say either The Shining or Misery, but American Werewolf in London's also way up there, and I would not change anything about those 3 movies. Perhaps I would put myself in the photograph in the Overlook, that black and white photograph of the ballroom. Yeah, I'll change that. I'll stick me in there. Cameo. Number 8. What are 2 favourite artwork covers to horrible movies? This took me ages. This took me so long. If you had have asked me, give me 2 really horrible covers to movies that you really enjoy, I'd have found that really easy. I think what LastVenom76 means by horrible movies isn't movies that are like gory or grotesque. It means really rubbish movies. So, upon looking through loads and loads and loads and loads and thinking, that movie's crap, that cover's crap, and the only 2 I could come up with, well actually I've come up with 3. Diary of the Dead. I went to see that at the cinema and it was so bad I left. Death Ship. I've mentioned this one already. I really like the idea of this. I really like the opening of this, but the movie itself was really poor. And the other one I've written is The Ruins. It looked like an interesting concept. It was just really poorly executed. If you can hear tweets and weird noises, I'm like that. We're looking after my mum's budgies at the minute while she's gone away for a few days. So yeah. Budgies are extremely noisy creatures. I can hear them all the way upstairs when I'm in bed. It's awful. Right, anyway, number 9 and penultimate question. What is a movie you have tried to watch several times, but for some reason you've never been able to get through it? Again, this is really, really hard because when I think of that type of movie, it's not horrors. I am probably on my lonesome as not enjoying Pulp Fiction. I have watched Pulp Fiction a number of times, trying in vain, not to get through it, but to like it, and I just can't. There's a scene in a car. Is it Samuel L. Jackson shoots someone's head off by accident? That's funny. That's the best part of the movie for me. Apart from that, I'm not. I love Quentin Tarantino, but I don't like that movie. I'm not a big fan of The Godfather or any of the sequels. I do not like mafia or mob movies. It's just one of those genres that I find no enjoyment from. But if you're going to say horror, I will give you one that a lot of people enjoy and I have not even tried to watch because I've no interest, and that's the Leprechaun movies. I would love to be as self-righteous as to say cultural appropriation, but no, it's just movies about little things. Apart from Gremlins, movies about little weird troll things don't interest me. I've never seen the Leprechaun movies. I've seen plenty of clips, and that's enough to put me off. I haven't seen the Troll movies. I have seen the Critters movies. Not keen. Ghoulies, any of that sort of stuff. It's just not my cup of tea at all. As I say, Gremlins is the exception. I bet that subscribe button's going to be hit a number of times to unsubscribe, isn't it? And finally, number 10, what movie would you like to have in your collection that you do not already own? Right, I think I've told people a lot. I stopped collecting DVDs, Blu-rays. Well, we don't really have Blu-rays, only a few. Quite a while ago. We just didn't have the room. Literally, when we had our son, there's just so much stuff of his and toys and Star Wars figures and crap in this house that I don't have any room to have a movie collection. So, I have movies that I adore, obviously, and anyone buys me movies as presents for Christmas or birthday, that's obviously great, but I don't buy myself any. But I had a look online. There's 2 sets that look incredible. One is the entire Saw set, from 1 through 8. That looks cool. But there's a Texas Chainsaw box set in the shape of like the van. It's called the Black Maria set, and it looks just beautiful. It's one of those things. I don't go out and buy things just because I think, oh yeah, that looks really cool, I would like to have that. It doesn't occur to me to go buy it for myself because it's just, I don't know. If you've got loads of disposable income, I suppose that's fine, but we don't. Oh, I just kicked the thing that my camera's on. Let's kick it back again. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Yeah, so probably those look pretty nice, but if I have lots of money, I never have lots of money. If I have spare money or if I get money for birthdays or Christmas or anything, generally it goes on a tattoo. And if it doesn't go on a tattoo, it'll go on like, we're putting every penny we have to the side at the minute to save to go to Orlando next year, being from Ireland. I don't know if people from America have any idea how expensive it is to even get there. For us 3 to get to Orlando is probably going to cost nearly $2,000. I think the flights are about 1,600, 1,700, and who knows, expensive. So to do 2 weeks in Orlando, we're probably looking at about $6,000, which is ridiculous when you think about it. For a 2-week holiday, all that money. So yeah, it's taken like 3 years of savings to have enough money to do this just the once. So yeah, DVDs isn't something I buy a lot of for such reasons. So anyway, that was another deviation. I do apologise. I do this all the time. Right, so that is this. I think he's just called it the 10-question horror tag. Yeah, so LastVenom76, 10-question horror tag. He has tagged The Last Shoegazer and Horrific Nightmares JM. So I am going to tag The HORRORman, Movie Massacre, The Horror Miser Monty G, Sean Erschen, Random Horror. I'm trying to think. The name always, Rusting Willpower. That name just won't. I love that name, but see, trying to remember, I have such a bad memory. I really love her. Any answers to tag? She is such a funny girl. Really, like, unique, really interesting, really funny. Check her out, guys. Really nice girl. So yeah, I'm tagging Rustin Willpower also. Obviously, like LastVenom76 said, if you fancy doing this, jump on in and do it. I didn't wait to be tagged. I'm doing this and thinking, Nick or Jason, please tag me, guys. Usually one or the other does, so I'm hoping they do. But even if they don't, this is going up anyway. So if you want to do it, do it. And hopefully the people that I've tagged, if you get a chance, obviously never see it as a necessity. It's just trying to get that tag as far and wide as possible. So, with that said, it is over and out from Lisa Loves.